What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be showcasing all of the brand new Sundered Doctrine Dungeon Weapons which have just been added into Destiny 2 within episode Heresy. And guys, Bungie did it again. They released another set of unbelievably powerful dungeon weapons. I just got done doing the testing and I was genuinely surprised. I could not believe the results I was getting. I think you guys will be shocked when you see exactly what these weapons can do, and so let's get started. Now, there are 4 legendary dungeon weapons, which is going to be the focus of this video, and 1 exotic dungeon weapon, the Finality's Augur. I did a complete video showcasing that. It can do some crazy things as well. The YouTube algorithm decided to nuke that video, but if you do want to check it out, guys, it is linked right up above. Additionally, if you want to gain access to any of these weapons, you're going to have to complete the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon, but don't worry, I've done the complete Sundered Doctrine Dungeon guide, again, linked right up above, guys. Alright, why am I saying these weapons are so darn powerful? Well, it all has to do with the brand new Subjugation origin trait. Guys, this might be like the most powerful origin trait in all of Destiny 2. Seriously, it is doing some wild things. So here's what it says. Weapon adapts to targets when dealing damage. To weak targets, shots explode, and that's going to be like red bars. To strong targets, so yellow bars and above, targets become exhausted. And because exhausted is a new thing, it says in the tooltip that exhausted targets deal reduced outgoing damage. And then lastly, to guardians, the weapon's flinch resistance increases. So what that means is that all of the dungeon weapons are going to kill red bars easier, and you're going to see exactly how much easier in a sec. They're going to make more powerful targets do less damage to you, and then in PvP, they're going to help you win gunfights. So just the origin trait has a lot of very relevant effects. However, it's the explosive shots against red bars where things really go off the rails. Because what this actually does in-game is essentially give all of the dungeon weapons built-in explosive payload against red bars. So if we take a look at normal explosive payload on this Ancient Gospel, you can see I shoot this target up close, I get 2 damage numbers, a normal damage number and then the explosive damage number. And importantly, guys, the explosive damage has infinite range. So you can see I'm now shooting this red bar very far away and I have much less damage from the normal number, but I'm still doing around 4,000 damage for the explosive. And that means I can 2-shot this guy. If I switch to a Kindled Orchid with no explosive payload, it's a 5-shot kill because the range of hand cannons are so trash. So that's really important. It's infinite damage range with explosive, and also, guys, you have built in around 10 to 15% more damage overall with explosive payload. And keeping all that in mind, let's now take a look at Subjugation. So I'm testing the Unworthy rapid fire frame scout rifle right here, and as you can see, when I shoot this target in the body, I'm gonna get 3,607 damage. That's my normal damage, and my explosive damage is 838. So, whereas explosive payload takes about 50% of your damage and makes it explosive, this is a lot less. Or so I thought, because then what I did is found another rapid fire frame arc scout rifle, the same power level. This should do the exact same amount of damage. And as you can see right here, I shoot my body shot and I get 3,607 damage. Yes, that is the exact same damage as the body shot damage I did on the Unworthy, which means unlike explosive payload that turns a portion of your damage into explosive, Subjugation just adds on pure bonus damage as explosive damage. And so the result is that you're doing around 24% more damage to all red bars with just your darn origin trait. That's insane, guys. Like, this is, again, one of the most powerful effects I have ever seen from an origin trait. It is arguably better than explosive payload. In fact, as you can see right here on the hand cannon, I'm also testing the infinite range, and yes, it does have infinite range. When your normal damage goes down, that explosive damage stays the same. this is crazy. You are going to be absolutely slaughtering every red bar that you come across. But of course, the balancing factor is that you're not going to get this 24% damage increase against yellow bars, and that does matter. Like, explosive payload will do 10 to 15% more damage against every target you shoot, but still, remember, this is just the origin trait. We haven't even talked about the main perks yet, so let's do so. Now, taking a look at, first of all, guys, that scout rifle we used in testing the unworthy, this can get some saucy rolls. So importantly, it can actually get Firefly. And yes, this does solar damage. So your arc scout rifle will be able to deal solar damage by getting headshots. And again, it's in the left column, so this is just pure upside. I've combined it here with Frenzy for another damage increase, but you can actually get Volt Shot in the right, as you can see right here. Unfortunately, with rewind rounds plus Volt Shot, I'm not able to trigger Volt Shot when rewind rounds triggers. I thought maybe it would, but yeah, so this scout rifle actually can get some pretty nasty rolls. And although I haven't gotten rolls with these perks yet, apparently it can also get Paracausal Affinity and Precision Instrument in the right column for that damage increase. But moving on from there, we have the Unsworn Strand Trace Rifle. And yes, this means because of subjugation, you have a trace rifle with explosive rounds. Guys, you cut through red bars with this weapon, but it also has access to some crazy rolls. First of all, it has a new perk, Detonator Beam. Dealing sustained damage creates an explosion around the target. So, as you can see right here, I'm damaging this Lost Sector boss, then boom, I get a strand explosion around this guy. Now, this might be more useful than it may appear, because remember, against those more powerful targets, against, this same boss, I am exhausting them. I am making them do less damage. And so that could actually be pretty useful. You're exhausting a target so it has less damage output, and then you're also getting explosions killing any other enemies around them. But overall, I don't think Detonator Beam really blew me away. I think this thing can get some even better rolls. So taking a look here, at a more traditional trace rifle god roll, you can get Subsistence to reload the mag on kills, plus Killing Tally to provide a permanent damage increase until you reload. And of course, Subsistence prevents you from reloading, so you get up to ×3 plus Subjugation. You are going to be shredding ads and constantly getting more ammo with this roll. Crazy good roll. Additionally, guys, you can go more into the strand synergies with another new perk here, Tear. Precision Final Blows causes nearby targets to become severed, and severed targets are going to deal 30% less damage to you. So very good effect, especially here in the left column, so you can combine it with a damage increase. We actually have bait and switch here, which is pretty crazy. But also, guys, if you want another crazy roll with this thing, it can actually get rewind rounds in the left. Again, that with Killing Tally is going to be nuts, and you can get Hatchling in the right, so you can get Tear plus Hatchling for just a ton of strand synergies. But moving on from there, guys, honestly, probably the weapon I'm most excited about, and the weapon I'm going to be incorporating into as many of my builds as I can, is the Unloved Hand Cannon. This is a strand heavy burst hand cannon, and the reason I am so excited about this is because I have previously stated, maybe if you are a longtime subscriber, you know I am a slut for explosive payload on hand cannons. If my hand cannon doesn't have explosive payload, I will not use it in PvE, because hand cannons have such a dramatic range drop off. You need explosive to get those kills at further ranges when you're doing higher level content. You guys saw that in this video with the Kindled Orchid versus the Ancient Gospel. But this just has it built in for the origin trait. I don't have to worry about that. I've essentially freed up a perk slot for my PvE hand cannon, and that means, look at this roll. Dragonfly in the left. Now, again, not Firefly, so it's going to do a strand explosion. Plus, I actually have Tear, so that is a ton of utility there. I get a precision hit, it's going to explode, and I'm going to provide Sever all around. And if that isn't what you want, check out this roll here, guys. Hatchling in the left. This is extremely rare. I only found maybe like 2 or 3 other weapons in the entire game that could get hatchling in the left column, and I think this is the first ever primary weapon that can get hatchling in the left. And that's so important because it means you get the great effect of hatchling. You're spawning those threadlings, you're doing a ton of strand synergies, but then you can combine it with, oh, I don't know, a brand new perk like elemental honing to get a damage increase in the right column. And if you don't want elemental honing, this thing can also get stuff like Frenzy and Paracausal Affinity, and as you can see right here, Kill Clip for other damage increases, like Hatchling plus a damage increase with built-in explosive payload. That is crazy. Like, that's just gotta be like better than a Fatebringer, right? It's like, I'm being serious here. You're gonna be slaughtering red bars because of the origin trait, you're spawning threadlings, and then you're also getting a damage increase. That just seems absurd to me. But moving on from there, we have one more dungeon weapon to look at, which unfortunately still eludes me. I've gotten like 10 trace rifles and not one of the unvoiced. Now this is going to be a pinpoint slug frame void shotgun. So I still have a ton of information on this weapon for you guys. It can get some pretty interesting rolls. As you can see right here, it can actually get the new kind of void wombo combo here with destabilizing rounds in the left column, making it capable of being an ad clearing monster if you do want that, combined with the brand new perk Demoralize, which makes precision final blows cause a weaken effect to nearby targets. That's right, with this one shotgun roll, you can be causing volatile explosions and providing weaken all with one weapon. That is pretty crazy. But if we're talking about a more traditional DPS roll, as you can see right here, it can actually get 4th times the charm here, which is going to massively increase magazine size, and then it can get damage increases like elemental honing. It can actually get Vorpal weapon, frenzy, and apparently it can get bait and switch. Like 4th times plus bait and switch is a crazy good damage, like DPS roll for a slug shotgun that, remember, is going to be exhausting the boss you're DPSing. So you're going to be taking less damage. That might actually be very useful. Just have one person, doing DPS with this shotgun so that everyone on the entire fire team takes less damage from whatever you're shooting. It's like, seriously, that is a lot of utility. Again, just coming from that insane origin trait. And so guys, there you have it. I honestly cannot believe just how good this origin trait makes these weapons at killing red bars, which, remember, is like the main purpose of primary weapons. So that scout rifle, that hand cannon, and even the trace rifle, I mean, that's often used for ad clearing. Like, all of those things are really worth looking at, and try to incorporate them into your builds because they are immensely powerful. And like, again, they basically have free explosive payload. They have a 3rd major perk because of this origin trait. Wow. Guys, again, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.